What's going on? Welcome to Shred Gaming, and Ed Boon is at it again, back to his normal trolling self, where he put on 10 questions on Twitter asking us how well do you think you know what's going to be in Mortal Kombat 1. Now, a lot of these questions are fairly cryptic, where he asks with a nod and a wink, hey, do you think this is going to be in Mortal Kombat 1? So let's go over the questions, talk about them a little bit, and see what you guys think is actually going to be in Mortal Kombat 1 according to the percentage of people that answered it. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, and comment down below. Now let's get after it. All right, question number 1. Let's play Truth or Troll and see how well the MK community knows what's really going to be in Mortal Kombat 1. Number 1, there will be a new color ninja introduced in Mortal Kombat 1. Troll, 51%. This is actually pretty close, 48 to 51%. Now, I do not think there is going to be, I actually answer Troll, because there is already so many ninjas to pick from. I mean, you have ninjas that haven't been in a Mortal Kombat game like in 2 or 3 games now. So I don't see the point of introducing a new character. Now, there's going to be a new character. I mean, that's inevitable. There's always like at least 1 or 2 new characters in every Mortal Kombat game. But as far as like the ninjas go, there's already so many both male and female ninjas to go from. And I don't really see a point in introducing a new color ninja. So I would just kind of stick with the ones you got. Plus, this is Mortal Kombat 1. This is the very beginning. I don't really see a point in introducing a new color ninja when you're starting over. You know what I mean? Now, before we move on to the next one, there are 2 things I wanted to mention. One is that not to do with ninjas, but there are characters that they have been leaving out and sleeping on for a while that I think should be main roster. One of them being Kai, and Kai, a black Shaolin warrior that has not been in the game since Armageddon, and the last time before that he was in the game was Mortal Kombat 4. He was actually supposed to kind of replace Liu Kang at that time, but why has they been sleeping on this character? And now that it looks like they're back in the Shaolin, and you have Raiden, Kung Lao, and Liu Kang was Shaolin in the timeline before, why would they not put Kai as main roster? They're really sleeping on a good character. And I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other characters, but like he's the one that kind of stands out to me, so there's a lot of characters in the past that they have not been allowing or putting in the game that they've been sleeping on, and that is why Kai, and my number 1 pick of all, Serena. I want Serena as a playable character, a part of the main roster, not cameo, playable main roster, because Serena has she has more potential than almost every other character in the game to be a huge part of the story, and I would really like for them to bring in those characters. So Kai and Serena are 2 characters I would love to see brought back in the game. Second thing is cameo fighters, which we will, we're going to talk about cameo fighters in just a second, because some of the questions have to do with cameo fighters. But as far as cameo fighters go, cameo fighters is a great way to have guest characters in the game, because Ed Boon already said that cameo fighters cameo fighters don't have anything to do with the main story. And in fact, during the story, I think they're going to limit the cameo fighters that you can use. So it's like if you're doing a fight that's a part of the story, you can only use the cameo fighters that are around you. I'm just guessing. I think that's probably what's going to happen, which is probably why they had to double up too. You had to choose, you had to choose either to fight Kung Lao or play as Kung Lao, but you can use Raiden as a cameo fighter, or maybe you're playing as Sub-Zero and you had to use Scorpion as a cameo fighter. But cameo fighters is a great way to have guest characters in the game. I do not think fatalities are going to be done on cameo fighters. And because of that, it is going to be a lot easier to bring in those guest characters so that we can play as those characters. And in the past, they have not been able to bring in certain guest characters that they wanted to bring in, because the owners of those characters didn't want fatalities done on them. Well, if fatalities aren't going to be done on cameo fighters is a great way to do that. Now, if I'm correct on this, then we can have a lot more guest characters in the game. And I'm kind of hoping they're limiting them, because most Mortal Kombat fans would probably agree they really don't want guest characters a part of the main roster. And they would rather just have other Mortal Kombat characters, like I've been saying, Kai and Serena. I've been sleeping on two great characters, but it's a great way to have guest characters in the game that you're not going to do fatalities on. So I think there's going to be more guest characters as cameo fighters. All right, number 2, Shujinko will be one of the cameo fighters. I actually answered truth, and 64% of you did, or close to 65% of you did. And I agree. I don't think Shujinko should be in the game as a main roster, playable character. However, I do think he should be, or you know what I mean by playable character, but I think he should be a cameo character, or a cameo fighter. There's a lot of characters in there I think should be cameo fighters, and Shujinko is one of them. So I feel like that's a reasonable answer. Number 3, Animalities are returning to MK1. Wow. Look at this. 49,775 people voted, 50% split. That is insane. That is, the probability of that happening is nuts. So 3 Animalities are returning in MK1. I put truth because I didn't think that Friendship was going to be in Mortal Kombat 11, and it was. So I can see them bringing back Animalities. I mean, I would go as far as maybe even bring back like Babyalities. You know what I mean? So Animalities isn't too far off, and I kind of hope that they do it because they were kind of silly, and that was the whole point, was Animalities were supposed to be kind of silly. If they do bring it back, I hope like they have Scorpion transform into a scorpion, unlike they did in Mortal Kombat 3. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but I do think Animalities are coming back. I'm just actually super surprised that literally 50%, it was a 50% split on that. All right, number 4, Lou Ferrigno will be making an appearance in Mortal Kombat 1. If you don't know who Lou Ferrigno is, he's the original Hulk. He was the Mr. Olympia competitor against Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he is just a well-known, very, very large man, and really strong man. And I put troll. 69% of you said that troll, because I just don't think that he's going to be in the game. It's already pretty cool that we are getting Jean-Claude Van Damme in the game as a skin for Johnny Cage, but Lou Ferrigno, nah, I don't think that's going to happen. Number 5, Meat is one of the strongest cameo fighters. Now, troll. I put troll, it's 52%, because I just don't think that they are going to have, they're going to try to balance things, obviously. That's why I put troll. However, they didn't say, is Meat going to be in the game? They said, is Meat one of the stronger cameo fighters? I think that just straight up tells us Meat's going to be in the game, but is he going to be the strongest? I'm not going to say Meat confirmed, but that's pretty strong evidence that Meat is going to be a cameo fighter. So get your cleavers out, get ready. Meat probably going to be, most likely, I'm almost 99.9% certain, is going to be a cameo fighter. All right, number 6, cameo fighters will have brutalities. I wrote troll. Most of you, 85% of you, said truth. They already have fatalities, so it would make sense. I just don't think they would push it that step further to have brutalities. But the fact that Ed Boon, I kind of wish I could go back and change this. I would say truth. The fact that Ed Boon is actually saying cameo fighters will have brutalities, just the fact of mentioning it kind of tells you a little something, So I do think that brutalities are going to be in the game. I wish I could go back and change it. All right, number 7, MK1 story mode will have a post-credit scene. Truth. And most of you agreed. 90% of you actually agreed. Yeah, I think it's going to have a post-credit scene. They had a post-credit scene in MKX, which was really cool. They had a post-credit scene in MK, or it was just kind of like an ending, with the Liu Kang ending. I don't even know if you consider that like a post-credit scene. How could you have a post-credit scene? with an ending like that, because it just introduced what's going to happen, you know, in the next game. But MK1 story mode will have a post-credit scene. I wrote truth because why not? Why would you not have a post-credit scene? Everybody loves post-credit scenes. We got them in almost every single Marvel film, and everybody loved them. I mean, never in cinema history has anybody not left during the credits because they wanted to sit and wait for the post-credit scene. So why would you not? 8 out of 10. Puzzle combat will be returning in Mortal Kombat 1. I wrote troll. 65% of you agreed. I just think we're kind of done with the mini games era. Mini games was big in the 90s. It was cool in the 90s. It was big in the 2000s too. Big into TOO too, with Motor Combat and Puzzle Combat. I just don't think that those mini games are going to be coming back. I think if they do introduce mini games, I think it will be in a way where they're making it fun to teach you how to do things, such as like quarter circle forward 1, quarter circle back 2, down down 1, down down 3, you know, stuff like that, in kind of the same manner that Street Fighter 6 is currently doing with their mini games. They're making it fun to teach you how to play, and I think that if they do have mini games in Mortal Kombat 1, it's going to be a way to make it fun to teach you how to play. All right, cutting to number 9. There are no 4-legged fighters in Mortal Kombat 1. I wrote troll, and 64, almost 65% of you said that, because there are no 4-legged fighters. I don't think there's going to be any 4-legged fighters as playable characters. I think that would be really hard to render. One thing I wanted to mention though was Goro is a cameo. If they're going to do like Motaro as a cameo, I can see that happening. So there are no 4-legged fighters in MK1 troll, because I think they are going to have 4-legged fighters, but it's going to be as cameo fighters. I don't think it's going to be playable fighters. The reason I mentioned Goro was because also he was a lot smaller than he has appeared in the past, and a lot of people actually complained about that, because, you know, he's supposed to be enormous, and he was only like what looked to be maybe 6 inches taller than Melina. So I think they are going to have 4-legged fighters. I think they're gonna have like Motaro in there, but as a cameo fighter, not a, you know, main roster fighter. And finally, 10 out of 10, MK1 will feature the return of Test Your Sight. Funny how he said sight and not any other, like Test Your Might, which is like the most famous one. But Test Your Sight, if you don't remember, it was the ball underneath the 3 cups or 5 cups, and you had to find out, you know, which where the ball was. And I wrote truth will feature the return of Test Your Sight. I don't know why I said that, because looking and thinking back on it, I think the mini games such as Test Your Sight or Test Your Might are not going to be in the game. If they, I mean, they couldn't. This is kind of weird. I'm surprised this isn't like a 50-50 thing, because if they do put mini games in there, like I said, I think they're going to do mini games in a way to make it fun for new players to learn how to play the game. But a game such as Test Your Might or Test Your Sight, where it's really about like, you know, where's the ball under the cup, or how much can you press a button in a certain amount of time in order to like break the blocks, break the wood, break the diamonds. Yeah, I just don't see that coming back. I mean, maybe for like nostalgia, I don't know. This is really weird. This is a hard one to answer. So, looking back, MK1 will feature the return of Test Your Sight. The funny thing about all of these is he's mentioning them. Just the fact that he's mentioning them is very, very cryptic. The fact that you're saying, is Test Your Sight going to be in the game, is kind of nuts. So you know what? I think I wrote truth. I think it's going to be in the game, but I think it's going to be in the game in campaign, whether or not in the story mode. And I think Conquest is going to be back in Mortal Kombat 1. You heard it here. Not first. I know a lot of people have said that, but I think they're going to do some sort of thing where it's gonna be like you have to pass the Test Your Sight to move on to the next, or move through a building, or moved on to the next realm. Who knows? Something like that. We know it's not going to be in Crypt, because Crypt is not going to be in Mortal Kombat 1. Ed Boon had already said that. So, you know, thinking this out, talking this out, I think, yes, I think games like Test Your Sight or mini games may actually be there. I changed my mind. right here, I'm changing my mind now. Mortal Kombat 1 will feature Return of Tester Sight, and I think like Puzzle Combat, I think Puzzle Combat may or may not be in there, but something like Tester Sight, they can throw in there easily with like, you know, in the in a campaign mode. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me your answers. Number them 1 through 10, what you wrote or what you voted on, because there are some in there that I'm just kind of like, looking back on it, maybe I shouldn't have voted that way. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, Shred out.